Hello, I'm Danielle. Again, I'm popping on to do a quick reading, and I'm smiling because I always say it's going to be a quick reading, but it ends up being really long because I just get right into them and I enjoy them. So, yep, I'm going to start the read with the Tarot of the Divine. Okay. And that lighting's quite bad. Okay. Not a deck that I've used often. I've used it a few times, but not as many times as my other decks. I've mainly used it on friends. Simply because it's a lot different to the traditional tarot deck. I mean, it's laid out with the same, like the Queen, the Seven of Swords, Tower. These are the actual cards that I pulled, by the way. The King of Cups, Two of Queens. But they're very, very different. The pictures are very different. Okay, so this is the Two of Cups. So not traditional at all. Anyway, I have cleansed the cards, I've cleansed myself, I've cleansed the third eye, I've put the protection in for myself and for you guys, the collective. So yeah, I've cleansed the space as well, the room, so just in case you're wondering. Right, so the Nine of Cups is a man. Let's get a look. The Nine of Cups is a man who's worked very hard. Very, 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 very hard. He's worked very hard at mastering his craft, okay? Whether that be work, doing everything he needs to do to upscale in that job for promotions or whatever, or training, qualifying to get higher if that's what the job requires, or if it's a business, excuse me, I always get airy on these reads. If it's a business, he's worked really hard to bring that business to fruition. So now he can kind of like eat the fruits of his labour, kind of thing. This might resonate for you if you like the outdoors, you like sky gazing, like staring into the sky, you might like birds. This is giving male energy. It is a male representing card and male energy card. Yeah, very, very fruitful guy, lots of growth, well respected, really wants to like put the work in and, provide for his loved ones. Yeah, very happy. Might like hiking in the mountains, might like walking, just going outdoors and just walking and being with himself, thinking, feeling, bit of outdoor solitude. Then we've got the Seven of Swords, which is a trickster energy, and on this one, it's a wolf. Okay. So this is trickster energy, very naughty, very naughty. A trickster by all means, whether that be on a big scale or a small scale. Again, thief kind of energy, causes disruption. And has like has the energy of like when someone walks into a peaceful setting and all of a sudden it just blows up and it becomes chaotic. This person's got the ability to just cause chaos everywhere they go. And they quite enjoy it. They don't feel bad, they don't feel remorseful or nothing like that, none of that. Very confident in the tricks that they play. Could be a runner, like cause chaos, run off, you know. Could also be the type of person to cause trouble behind the scenes, you know, like throw stones and hold your hand type of thing. We've got the Tower. Now, I know what everyone thinks about the Tower. You know, the Tower can be a scary card for some, but the Tower talks of the stability of one's life crumbling and being pulled away. Okay, so it causes what seems at the time a loss, and I say at the time because anything that comes tumbling down has to be rebuilt. Okay, and that means like a transformation. So you would feel this is the tarot card. Sorry, I forgot to show you. Okay, so this is like a bit of a chaotic time. Things falling apart, you know. But it rebuilds itself, so it's a temporary thing. It's literally like I couldn't really put it in any other way than you have to feel a fall to be able to get back up, lick your wounds, and transform. Do you know what I mean? So it is kind of like a scary card in that sense, but there's no growth without falling. You will come out on top and do better. You know, sometimes you have to lose the things that you've got right now in your life to be able to make room for the things that are going to come in that are probably like 10 times better than the things that you lost. Okay, so I think with the Tower, it's always a matter of perspective on the way you look at it. Because we can all look at the depictions on the card and think, oh, fire, Tower, falling, people falling out the building. But the perspective on it, the different perspective is that needs to happen in order for change, a good change, to come around. Okay, so say for instance, I'm just going to say this as an example. Say you've got a house, right, and you end up being booted out for whatever reason, yeah, and then you spend 6 months sofa surfing or living with your parents or your grandparents or your friends or whatever, and it's a really uncomfortable time for you to be experiencing, right? Then all of a sudden, as I say, 6 months down the line, you get a new property and it's 10 times better than the previous one, so it's bigger, it's more spacious, probably got more bedrooms, probably got a bigger garden, probably got a front garden, bigger front garden. You know, there's the Tower literally talks about a fall to get better. Do you know what I mean? So it's a transformative time. It's not about loss per se. Okay. Then we've got the King of Cups. So this is again a man. There is female energy in this card. In this read, sorry, not the card, but the read. You've got the end. But this again is a male energy, King of Cups. This is a very patient person. So the fact that it's a very patient person, I would say these two are the same people, the King of Cups and the Nine of Cups. But then this Seven of Swords is a different male energy. Okay, but we're going to use other decks to clarify and get a bit more. So, where was we? The King of Cups on this one, on this card, it's like giving like dragon energy, like a fierce kind of protector. Patient but protective, okay? Kind of like a big friendly giant. And you know, he's got all his cups still full. He's the King of Cups. Okay, so kind of says it all in the name of the card. The King of the Cups. Okay. So the King of Cups is like, again, all his cups are filled. You can look at that. I think traditionally it's filled with water, but most people nowadays take it as filled with money or materials, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, he's a very deep and mysterious person. This could be a Pisces or a Scorpio or a Cancer. This person is kind of like, I'm getting he's got a family, okay, whether it's a blended family or a family that he started himself, and he cares about that family a great deal, and he'll go to great lengths to support and protect that family. The male energy in this read is a very happy type of guy, but when pushed, as with any human, I guess, most men, you know, when their security is threatened, they can become very aggressive. So and by that I mean like you can get the most calm person on the planet, and if you put that man in a situation where he could lose everything that he loves and everything that he's built, that person could turn savage, but not in a dark, evil type of way. It would be like in a protective type of way, like protecting what he's built, protecting what he's made. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very like it's giving self-defense type of protection, not like troublemaker. But we've got this trickster over here. So anyway, we've got the Two of Coins, okay, which is a female energy. This is a female who's torn. She's torn between career, motherhood, timing, and kind of trying to work out where she can prioritize things. She's a very hard working person, very hard working woman. You could have two children, or she, if it's not you, that if you're not the female, then this female could have two children. She's balancing her energy from one side to the other, scraping the bucket for energy, but she's doing well, and she's also fruitful. So she's kind of out of balance at the moment, and I think it's because of the feeling a bit stagnated between career and motherhood, and she's got unbalanced legs and unbalanced coins, so there's a big aspect of unbalanced for this energy, and she will find a way. She will find a way. It's all about prioritizing things in the correct manner that serves yourself. Okay, so yes, it's great to be a stay-at-home mom, but it's also great to be a working mom. I've done both. But it's finding the balance, okay, because nowadays with the way jobs are, they expect so much from their employees that by the time you get home, you've barely got anything left in you. So so it is a hard working woman. This is the type of woman and mother that she would sacrifice things for herself just to provide for her children and a home life. She likes to be out in nature. She absolutely loves spending time with her children. Though sometimes she can find it a bit overwhelming, and not the children. She doesn't find the children overwhelming. She finds her life situation, the unbalance. She finds that overwhelming. Not knowing, where she should focus her energy most. Okay. Again, it's heavily talking about balance. I'm going to get some more cards. Okay. I'm going to do what's the tea card now. Okay. And we're going to try and find out what this trickster energy is. Okay. Oh. I don't like that card. So we've got bad karma. Okay. And I was saying before that card flipped out, we want to find out who this trickster energy is. Okay. And it said bad karma. Now I'm going to be hopeful and say that the bad karma is coming to this trickster energy, okay? But we're going to get some more and see on that. This could be like a dead soul type of person. Dead soul. Okay, we've got some more fallouts. We've got moves in silence and bankrupt. Okay, so this is definitely the trickster energy, because the previous cards was all financially stable, fruitful. When I've asked about the trickster energy, we've got bankrupt, moves in silence, not move in silence, moves. So that's implying that this trickster energy is moving in silence, okay? And then we've got the bad karma and bankrupt. So this trickster could be in so much debt. They either tried to pay it off and couldn't, and they've had to file for bankruptcy, or that's on the cards. That's coming into play. This person could like drinking, this trickster energy, like drinking. They could wear a mask around other people. They could have very toxic energy. you guys, the male and the female, you're too busy winning, okay? You focused on winning at life. You want your gold. Right, okay. So now we're getting stalker energy, okay? Because this person has fake accounts, lurking on socials, hidden identity, can't stop watching you. And I did say that this person probably wears a mask. This person's watching you. It could be that the first male, the good male, at the start of the reading, and the female at the end, maybe they're in a connection, okay? Maybe living separately. And this is someone watching from the outside. They stalk your social media. They're watching you from a distance, but they've hidden their identity. So if they're watching you, you literally could be interacting with this person and not knowing who they really are behind that screen. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be someone that you know, could be someone he had a past connection with, or she had a past connection with, or it could be a family relative that maybe holds a grudge or doesn't want you together or something. So yeah, we've got stalker vibes out here. Oh. You could be moving soon. Okay, you could be packing up, moving somewhere else. You could be, if you're in a connection, the male and the female, place it where it needs to be. If the male and the female of this read, the main characters, live separately, you could be packing up, finding a property and moving in together. Okay. Okay, so this trickster energy is possibly wanting to cause some trouble. We've got the no facts card, all vibes, no receipts, talking nonsense, messy storyteller. So this person just chats absolute waffles, you know, waffling nonsense. But again, you're too busy winning. I don't think that you're really paying too much attention. You're probably not even thinking about this person, because obviously, if they're watching you from fake accounts and you're not aware of them being your stalkers, you're not going to focus on things you don't know about. So you're not really paying any mind to that, which is a good thing. So the Queen is rising, glowing up loud, all eyes on her, coming up spotlight. So this female, I think that this female is the tower's for the woman. I'm feeling the tower is for the woman, and it might have something to do with this stalker energy, this trickster energy, the one with the mask, the one with the dead soul. And it might be the case that because this person is watching in the shadows, okay, stalking on social media, possibly interacting with you under a fake profile, maybe this is gonna come out, and you're gonna find out about it, and maybe things will get said back and forth, but then this person's going to say some absolutely crazy stuff that's not even true as a way and means to like sabotage your connection with this good male energy from the first card. Okay, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. Anyway, so you even though you're going to have the tower, your glow up's going to come after the tower. Your glow up's going to be loud, which implies that this person's going to have to watch you glow up, and everyone's going to be watching. Everyone's going to be watching. You're going to be in the spotlight, and it's going to ravenously savage his ego. You've got running. You might start to, or you might take up running in the future. You might have just started running. In a previous reading, this was about running thoughts. Not getting that here. This is physically running. You might like running. You might like running on the beach. Or in the forest. Outdoors in nature. You like your music. You like to keep fit and healthy. Just don't be running from your glow up. Because we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You know, just whatever life throws at you. Don't sabotage the potential by running from fools, okay? Idiots, narcissists, dark energies, whatever you want to call them, toxic people, you know? Always focus on yourself and your family, not just yourself. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Focus on yourself and your family, your loved ones, you know, focus on the good and the positive in your life, basically. Well. If we didn't already know that. Creeping, okay? This person, this trickster energy is hardcore stalking. You're watching from every corner, every angle that you possibly can. Probably look at your pictures like this. Okay. There's a picture of an owl on that card. I was just thinking, mate, let's hope it's not someone from Bohemian Grove. But yeah, creeping, lurking. There's a lot of stalker energy here. Let's do one more from this, what's the tea, and then maybe get another deck. Oh. Thought the card was going to knock me out then. Me little old book. Giving money, paying their bills, always asking, trying to buy love. Maybe the person, the good energy, maybe this person buys you a lot of gifts. Thinking that, you know, if you're a very, say the female in this read, but the energy of the female in this read, say she's a very beautiful, well sought after lady. This guy from the first few cards, the good guy, maybe thinks that he's got to gift you things to keep you interested. And if that's the case, I would just sit there and have that conversation and say, look, you don't have to, but I mean, if you like the gifts, that's fine. But no one should have to feel like they've got to buy someone's love, you know? So I would just have that conversation. I'd just pull the person to a side and say, look, you don't have to buy me gifts for me to love you. I love you regardless. You know, I'm not with you because of the gifts or because of this or because of that. It's generally just because I love you and I care about you. You know, the gifts. If you want to buy the gifts, that's cool. That's on that person. But it's not an expectation that you carry into that connection, if that makes sense. And you might just want to make that clear. It looks dark in this room. It looks like I've got a black eye. This also could be that this card, you know, could also be from the trickster energy, where, say it was a male, and you're the female, or someone in this read is a female, obviously, and you left that person, the person that's stalking you, being a weirdo. This person could be in regret, and then now they're seeking connections elsewhere and trying to buy your love, like trying to buy things for someone else in the hopes that they will get the love that you gave. Because it's got here paying their bills, you know. So that might actually be for the trickster trying to, you know, if you're with let's just be honest, if you're with a crappy person, right, and that never buy you anything, and you brought it up and said one day, you know, like, I don't feel that you really care about me because you never buy me anything, you know. You don't buy me anything for Christmas, you don't buy me anything for my birthday. Not that those things are important, but when those things are, it's not the baseline of a relationship, but when those things are non-existent, it will make you start reflecting on yourself and questioning whether that person actually loves you. That's just normal. It's not materialistic, it's normal. So you might have said that to that person, and then now this person he's entering other connections, but carrying your old talks with him. So when he's faced with another person, he's probably thinking, oh, well, if I buy this, if I buy that, if I buy this, oh, if I pay this and I pay that for her, maybe she'll love me the way so and so did. Do you know what I mean? Which is BS, because you only get the love of a good woman once in your life, now. Screw that, and well, that's my opinion. Oh, I did say I was only going to do one more, but shall I let one fall out, or shall I pick it from the top? Or shall I go from the bottom? Decisions. Let's have a look. From the bottom. I've decided, from the bottom. This says boss daddy, stable, rich, business owner, CEO, big, ick, D, energy. Okay. This has got to be the first guy in the reading, the first energy. That's the first male, okay. Because I know it's the trickster. You can't not have anything, be bankrupt and then have, you know, be the CEO, be a business owner, be stable and rich, do you know what I mean? So this has got to be, if you're in a connection, if you're the female and you're in the connection with this guy, then that's the guy you're with. Whereas if you're the male and you're pursuing or in a connection with this female, it's you with the big D energy and the business. Does that make sense? Okay? It's not the trickster. Doesn't make sense for the trickster. Anyway, I'm gonna get, you know what? Let's do some shadow work cards because I'm just interested to see if you guys have got any work to do. Okay. Trauma. Your scars are proof of resilience and survival. Pain, wound, and shock. Okay? So, you could have been through an awful lot. An awful lot. And I mean, when I say awful lot, I don't mean a few arguments here and there with people. I mean, you've been through an awful lot, like mind shattering, like people would look at you and think, I'm still living. And you are the walking proof that trauma can be healed, and you can heal and then come away. You know, after people have gone through trauma, you might heal from the physical pain and the psychological pain, but then you've got the mental residue that's left over. So you walk in proof that you can overcome that mental scramble. I'm going to call it scramble because it absolutely can, you know. The shadow work could be to just finalise getting the last few bits out of your mind because you're in a safe space now. You're doing well. You've overcome so much already, and I feel like you've consciously evolved to a point where a lot of the things you went through in the past, you're too smart to go through it again, if that makes sense. So there's just a few little shards left that need clearing out, but it's not shards that would make a big impact. You know what I mean? It's like just a little inconvenience now and again. Guilt. Release the chains of past mistakes and embrace the growth they bring. Okay? So yeah, this is clarifying the trauma card because, you know, sometimes when you go through things in trauma, you do play a part because we retaliate as humans. Okay, so we might have said some things, might have done some things, and not to like be an enabler, but when you're going through things, you can't just roll over and take them. You have to stand up for yourself. So you might have, you might have, say for instance, you was in a relationship where you was, toughing it up. You might have gone back, or if they played like silly little mind games, or you might have used a little bit of manipulation, but in a way of protection, not like not to like get one over on someone, but to protect yourself and to protect everything that you built for yourself at that time. Okay, so it's calling for you to release the guilt from this trauma. Okay, from basically release the guilt from being in survival mode, literally, is the best way I could put it, really, because it is in survival mode. When you're going through traumatic experiences, it leaves It leaves trauma, and it literally is survival mode. And to come away from survival mode and fix your own mental health and be able to move on, grow and blossom. Hold on. Well done. We'll do one more. Pride. So, pride. It says, true worth is measured by character, not accolades. So, when this person was traumatizing the other energy in the card, because it could have been the male, it could be the female, it could be switched, you know. When you was going through that traumatic time, this could have been a person that had the type of energy where they would say things like, oh, you know what you ain't got nothing. It would want you know, just making, like, their argumentative standpoints would be materials, and that comes from it comes from ego. And if you have a lot of material stuff, sometimes it can make your pride a little bit too high, or it could be that you don't like talking about your story, you don't like speaking your truth on this trauma and on this guilt because of pride. Okay? Pride as well. Pride can actually suppress you from a lot of things in life, in my opinion, because pride will stop you asking for help. It will stop you doing things, fun things, having a fun time. It will stop you from reaching out when you need other people, because you want to look, well, you not look, but you want to seem like you've got it all put together and you're fine, you don't need anybody. You know, that is pride. Not being able to accept gifts through shame and embarrassment is pride. So maybe that's a shadow aspect of yourself that maybe you need to work on. Not that it's a bad thing, you know, because if your shadow work is a bit of pride, I mean, fair play to you, because some other people. Desire. Harness its power to manifest dreams, not delusions. Okay, so these cards are so dark. Okay, the bottom says longing, yearning and craving. So this desire card could be you or the other energy, so the male or the female energy, or the female or the male energy, whichever's you. You have the power to manifest all your desires and all your dreams, but it's just talking about, be careful not to be delusional, and I say that with the most respect, because the word delusional I think is a bit offensive in this type of read anyway, because it was quite a positive. been up to now quite a positive read apart from that trickster energy. So it's not, and I did say it was Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio, and those are very airy fairy, escapists, living in the clouds type of signs, and not to be disrespectful to any Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio, because I am a Pisces. But yeah, sometimes, you know, we can sometimes get lost in our own minds to the point where we'd rather be in our minds than be in reality. So bear that in mind. When you because of your power to manifest, you want to make sure that you're manifesting positive things that can actually come to fruition. Don't get trying to manifest a car that flies with skittles blowing out of its exhaust pipe, because that's the only thing I could think of really when it comes to delusionals in that aspect. If it's because these are shadow work cards, so try and remain realistic with your manifestations. Don't think that you can sit there and manifest the 10 billion pounds or dollars, wherever you're from, one night, and then you're going to wake up and have it in your bank the next day. Like, manifestation does not work like that. Anyone that's trying to sell you that kind of BS is a scammer. Right, not going to do any more on the shadow cards. I only wanted to do a few. Oops. I'm sitting all crunched up on the sofa for this reading. I've actually got a desk. My phone stand, camera stand is on the desk, but it's one of them corner ones. I thought it'd be so cute. Little white one with gold handles, because I thought it, you know, it fits with the decor of the room. That'll look lovely. Too bloody small. Anyway, I've got this other deck that I wanted to use. It's called the Wise Witch Oracle. Some random cards in there that shouldn't be in there. And I'm not going to read them. Right, let's have a look. The first one is transformation, which clarifies the Tower card. Okay. Transformation is brewing, embrace change and harness its magic. So, just as we said when we had the Tower card, embrace change. And change means that things fall apart to be rebuilt back up better. Okay. That's a cute card. It's like a little cauldron with the fairy in. We have protection. Create a safe space. Within this circle, you are protected and empowered. So, I think that the connection you're in now, I could be wrong, but I'm just going to say it because I got it. This connection you're in now, it's like you're a bit of a power couple. Okay, your connections, like, you were brought together for a reason. So in this connection, in this circle, okay, you are protected, so you have nothing to worry about. There might be changes to embrace, but transformations to come around, but other than that, you are protected. So when it comes to all of the stalker energy and trickster energy, they're going to do what they're going to do. Okay, crap things happen all the time for everyone, you know, that cannot be helped. But you are protected. And if you're into any form of witchcraft, because it is the witch oracle, make sure before you do any rituals or any readings that you put in your measures of protection first, okay? Very important. Let's do one more from the witch oracle, the wise witch. These cards are nice, but they're so thin. Eclipse. Dance with your shadows, discover hidden aspects of yourself in the darkness. Okay, so we've already spoke about your shadow work, what you need to do, whether it be you or the other energy. And it's just saying dance with them. It's basically saying sit with them and deal with them. Discover hidden aspects of yourself in the dark. So by doing this as well, you're going to discover other positive things about yourself. You might discover you might be spiritually gifted. Well, everyone's spiritually gifted, but you might be tapped into them gifts. And it's just saying that if you sit with yourself and face your shadow a little bit more, your shadow work that you need to do, your gifts would probably elevate or heighten. Okay, not going to do any more on them. What time are we on? Do it again. 51 minutes. Right, let's do just a very few of these. These are my old cards. Not fancy ones I got made. I literally bought some cards and just wrote a bunch of stuff on there. But you know, they're really good. Sometimes the cheapest things work out the best and tie everything together. Okay. It's saying, look again, you missed something. So, look again, you missed something. This could be, when I said earlier, you are too busy winning. You don't know that this trickster energy is been a big stalk online under a fake profile. Okay, so I think it's in relation to that. Look again, you missed something. And again, I'm really getting that you are talking to this person online and you don't actually know. It could be that this person pretends to be it could be that if it was a man, this person acts like a female, or he's probably got a female profile, and vice versa. If it's the female, she's probably got a male profile, and you're conversing with her without even knowing who it actually is. So new adventures are on the way. Embrace and enjoy, which again clarifies what we've already spoke about in the embracing change. And new adventures come from your transformation from your tower. Okay, but it's not going to be like it's not going to be a dark tower. It's just going to be an inconvenient tower. I daydream about making love to you, but not in a seedy way, respectfully. Again, this could be the trickster energy that knows you've been lost. gone with the wind. So now they're having thoughts that they shouldn't be having because you're in a new connection with someone, or you're in a connection that's not with them, basically. Not with them. This one's saying say hello to strangers on the way to work or at work. Why do people always have to mess around and find out later? It says, I want to treat you like a queen. I want to show you the love you deserve. I'm scared of rejection, so I stay quiet. Stay quiet, mate. Someone's got a karmic debt that was paid, done, dusted. And be wary of beggy and pushy people. Pay attention. So that's a warning. To be observant, not to be fearful. Productive. You might be doing very productive things in your day-to-day life. Go within, meditate, talk to your higher self or your guides. Okay, and we did speak about doing the shadow work would heighten your gifts, or maybe you'll get some new gifts. Who knows? Okay. Forever 40, no kids, no wife, no home. I'm forever 21. Right, I'm going to leave that there because that is an absolute mess. But I enjoyed doing that, whoever it's for. I hope you take it as a guide and not as a threat. Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. And you know, just carry on doing what you were doing before you listen to the reading. Go about your life, do what you do, love your family, take care of your home, strive for greatness. So yes, lots of love. I love you all. Thank you for watching and goodbye.